YouTubers, hello subscribers. Thank you for all the wonderful comments, the poems, just the sweetness of you guys. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I enjoy it because I have someone to talk to instead of just like going in with my husband about it. But after reading this book, listening to Harry, it's apparent that he is under a dark spell, because at every event in this book that has Meghan's name on it, it's always a negative. There's nothing positive about each event that Meghan is in, okay? The bridesmaid event, even the first meeting of Kate and William, that wasn't a good thing. The lip gloss moment, the bride dresses. I mean, it's just one catty thing after another. And then Harry's right there defending Meghan every step of the way and trying to make sure we understand how it's everybody else's fault, capitalizing on it. He made this statement that I'm always talking about, and it shocked me when he said it. He said that Meghan lost her father in the process, like he was dead. No, Meghan, you didn't lose your father in this process. You just decided that you didn't want to forgive him for whatever you think that he did. Because as much as they talk about it, I should know why. I don't care. I don't care what your dad did that make you feel this way. It's not enough to disown him. I'm sorry. Or say that you lost him in this process. How easy and convenient of you to make everything about you. And you have managed to manipulate Harry in the most embarrassing way, because as he's talking through this book, it's all about her. How this is the kicker. All these are kickers. When Harry says, Meghan allowed me to see it in a different light, in a different point of view, because I didn't used to see things the way she's seeing it. No, yes, that's him slipping us something and saying, this ain't me, this is her, and I'm trapped. But he tells us, he says, Meghan allows him to see something, and Meghan allows me to see it differently than I used to see it, which tells me that she is constantly telling you how things are going to go and how they should be, and that you're going to do it. You started early, though. You were so afraid that you were going to lose her. He says he's so afraid that he was going to lose Meghan. Like this was like the end of the world for him. And because he goes to his dad and he says, Dad, I don't know what to do. I digress. Let me back up, because this is important. If I don't say nothing else tonight, I need to say this, because here's where I catch Harry in a fibbo, porcupine or whatever, and I have receipts. At the beginning of the story, of the chapter or whatever, Harry starts to tell us how Meghan, the Compton comment and the gangster comment was just degrading to her and racism, which is not racism. And for her to say it, I strongly disagree. But they were making racist comments, and she got upset about the Compton thing because it's so beneath her, and she would never be associated with that. As a matter of fact, Harry tells us she lives 30 minutes away. So does my mom. So that's far. That's not far. That's down the street, especially in Texas. No. So he tells us that. And as he's distressed because he can't sleep because of this. Meghan has put it on him. She says, I can't sleep. This Compton thing is bothering me. And Harry's all nervous now and trying to figure out what can he do. So he goes to his family, the royalty lawyer. And he says, can we put out a statement? And he didn't want Harry to. And he advised him not to. But Harry insisted. And then they put out the statement on behalf of Meghan. Remember, they've never done that for her. They've always thrown her to the wolves, okay? You know that. That's all that they've done. Docuseries. That's all Harry is talking about, is how they were like after Meghan. And so they put out the statement, and then the next day it's in the news, and it does exactly what the royal lawyer said it was going to do. It backfired. It didn't go out well with the British people. And so William and Charles gets upset like they should and say, Harry, what are you doing? And Harry was like, he knew that they were upset because they had never came out and wrote anything about their girlfriends or wives in the news to debunk anything. I'm going to say that again because here's the lie. He tells us that William and Charles have never done that for their girlfriends and wives. Come out and write a story saying that didn't happen. She's not from Compton. That is key. I want you guys to go back and look at that, please, for me, especially when you comment. So right then, it tells you that that's not something normally that they do, is run out and start talking to the press against the press, or whatever Harry was trying to do when he sent out that statement or whatever, and it backfired. And he says that his father and his brother has never done that before. As a matter of fact, one of my subscribers said to me, she said that, why didn't William put a letter out to protect Kate from her topless? So I was waiting for all of this. And so fast forward it. We're going to fast forward it. They married now, and they didn't have little Archie, I believe. And he's on his way home, and she's sitting on the porch crying. Okay? Or they're... Yep, they're married. And she's sitting on the porch crying, talking about she don't want to live no more, and it's over. And she can't do it anymore. So Harry's distraught. Now, mind you, Harry's been distraught since he met her. The wedding, the tiara, the lip gloss, and all of that stuff. The bridesmaid dresses, the hug. I mean, Harry's been stressed all through that. In some kind of way, there's some bullying going on that we don't know about because Harry leaves that information out because he doesn't want his wife to look bad. Tell the story. Fast forwarding. So he's sitting on the porch. She's talking about she don't want to live no more. And he's distraught. Harry's always distraught. He's always nervous now. He's always something. He says it. He says, oh, I knew this was going to happen. And then he blames. The blaming is freaking for real. Let me get there. I'm getting there. So basically, you have, you fast forward, she on the porch talking about she's suicidal and stuff. Harry, there's a big event that night. He needs to go get ready. And he doesn't really know what to do because if he doesn't go, he's going to get in trouble. That's what he tells us. Whatever. And so he tells her to stay. And then she says, no, I'm not going to stay. And she goes. I don't know what event that was. They get back home and find out that the letter that she wrote to her father got leaked. But check this out. The way it got leaked was it got leaked, and she knew it was gonna get leaked. She had something to do with it. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is they found out it was leaked. Now she's pissed. Now she's like, everything is like up in arms. Like she's just really upset because Meghan is really upset that it got leaked. And so Harry's ready to sue now. It's like he's ready to fight for Meghan. But before I say that, I'm going to keep going because I don't want to confuse us. So Harry's like, let's sue. Let's sue. We're finna sue. We're finna do this. So he calls the same lawyer that he called earlier about the Compton information to talk to him, to ask him to help him sue the Daily Mail. I believe it was the Daily Mail. Whoever wrote that letter, they wanted help to sue. And Harry goes in. He says that they're not helping us. They don't want to help. The royal they're not even looking at us. They don't want to help. He says that he can't even get in contact with the royal lawyer. And they're not doing it. Their motto is to just not do anything. But Harry said it's beyond that. They're doing something about it. And not him, her. She's going to do something about it. Regardless if the royal family is going to do it or not, she's going to do something about it. You know why? Because grandma and grandpa is the one that told her to write it. I ain't got to the lie yet. And I'm a home in on it though. But isn't that interesting how we going to blame grandpa and grandma on the letter that she wrote to her dad, which she should have just picked up the phone and said, hey. But now because since Elizabeth and his pa, didn't defend her, he felt like they should have, since they the ones that told her to write the letter. This is the second time I'm hearing this. It was in the docuseries, and now they have it in the book. Like we didn't hear it the first time. Why are they repeating themselves? Why is Harry telling us this same story again? And every now and then the story gets a little twisted, and here is the lie. His father and his brother comes around the corner, and they say, Harry, you can't do that. You can't sue them. Get somewhere and sit down. He gets upset, and here's the lie. He says, I don't know why they're not supporting us, because when Kate was topless, he had the royal lawyer write something on her behalf. And when Dad did so-and-so, the lawyer, they had him write that on their behalf, whatever it was that Charles went through. But he said this about William. He said, when Kate's top came off, or whatever it was in the news, he wrote a letter with the lawyer debunking it, being upset, or suing it. Something William did. That's what Harry says. Okay? And he says his father used it too. But if you rewind it and go back to the beginning, where he said that his brother and his father has never used the lawyer to sue or do anything for their girlfriends or for their wives. That's what he said. And he's told his dad said, son, don't listen to him, ignore it. He said, I don't want to lose her, Dad. I don't want to lose Meghan. He was scared he was going to lose her. But he told us then that his father and his brother had never used the lawyer to write on their girlfriends and their wives' behalf. He said it. Then you fast forward it and you hear him saying it. So which is it, Harry? You can't have it both ways. You can't have it. In each incident, it's it's William and Charles getting mad at Harry. It's their fault. It's not Harry and Meghan taking accountability for any of it. That's your father, Meghan. That's not Charles and William's dad. They can't babysit you. Now, since you didn't, no, I'm coming out. No, I need, they took my letter and then come to find out you wanted them to leak it. You helped them leak it. But this is the kicker, that you're not talking to your dad. Even now. But you were so distressed, according to this book and according to the docuseries, because you keep repeating yourself, is that you were going through with your dad and Kate was being inconsiderate because she wanted the bridesmaid dresses redone and created. She makes Kate out to look like she's bossy, that Kate is running things, and Kate was inconsiderate, not a hugger, like she's not compassionate. Like, she dropped all these little seeds. Harry did, and her, because it's in the docuseries and now it's in the book. It's just a rehash. That's what this is a rehash of the docuseries at the end of this book. It's like she wrote it. It's too perfect. She wrote this. Then she put it in, she acted it out on the docuseries. Then they decided to put it in a book. And Harry, you lied about your family. Because at first you said they've never done something. And then and it was a dig then. Like, oh, they've never came and defended their girlfriends or wives. But they were angry that I had. Because of Meg. Putting little seeds in our heads to say that Charles and William didn't care for Meghan. That's a lie. That's a fuddy-duddy porky. It's a porky pie. It's a porky pie. I'm gonna start calling it porky pie again. And then several chapters later, I will never forget this, and I'm going to keep repeating it. He says that William puts out a statement for his wife at the time, because I remember it was topless and they showed it. I didn't see anything, but I just remember it being in the news, in the tabloids. I don't remember any statement from William because I wasn't following it like that. I was just like, dang, they're messing with Kate. But come to find out, since Harry wants to tell all the secrets, I don't know what to believe. I don't know if the statement was made on behalf of Catherine based on what Harry said in this chapter. He says that he put out a statement about Catherine's upper part being exposed because he was upset and was ready to sue. William was. And Charles, something happened to Charles. But they wouldn't help him with Meghan. That's what he was trying to say. He was trying to say that they did it, so why wouldn't they help us? And Papa and Elizabeth are the ones that told her to write it. And now they don't want to help her? Meghan, Harry, is your girlfriend a little needy? First, it goes on and on and on. It does. It goes on and on. All throughout this. You see who the real victim is. And it's really Harry, the storyteller. The storyteller is the victim. Because he's telling us. He said that Meghan helped him see something different. What? That this was the best thing to do. This was what she showed you to do. It's just interesting. It really is. It blows my mind. The way Harry protects her, because he said he's going to do that. The way he protects her, the way he covers her, the way he will take on he will take the blame and take on that weight for himself. He blames himself for Meghan's suicidal thoughts. He blames himself for the Compton statement, for Meghan moving to the UK, for her being in a little house, for her having to deal with his father, whatever the case may be. He blames everything that Harry is going through is because, and now you can't tell me he's happy. You can't tell me he's running around being jolly-go-lucky. But he's trying to figure out, because he's always been trying to figure out where everything went wrong. And he said it. He's like, this is where I believe everything went wrong. And he thought that coming over to Montecito was going to be a better life for him. Quiet, more peaceful. That's not what she had in store. And then I don't like the way Harry doesn't know her father. And he doesn't disrespect him. And he leaves that to her because he's never met him. But whatever, she keeps him separate from meeting Harry, her father. She never wanted him to meet Harry. She was never intending to allow Harry to meet her father, because if she was, he would have met her like he did Doria. No. She was keeping everything in a bubble and keeping all the narratives. And she's got it, like someone said, she's sticking to this story no matter what. This is her story, and no matter what we say, or no matter what our thoughts are, she's sticking to the story. But you got cracks in it, and you got a sister that's suing you for defamation. You don't want to do that. That's a bully. Here, and I'm going to leave. If Meghan can bully her staff, why wouldn't she think she couldn't bully the royal family too? You can't tell me that them telling us that they had 400 more pages wasn't a signal to tell them that we got more dirt. I believe Meghan was trying to bully them. And when Kate saw her over there for Elizabeth's funeral, she looked at her like, I see you. And not only is Meghan trying to bully them, but on a bigger, a wider scale, like a national, this is a national scale of bullying. Because who does what she does and think that, okay, that's cool. Now you got more secrets. First of all, the secrets that he told wasn't really, it made him look like the idiots. First of all, because they're repeating themselves. But number two is that your story is not lining up. You haven't given me a reason why she flew you over here to Montecito. And she hasn't given us a reason why she decided that she wanted to bail. Because it's not adding up. And it wasn't the royal family why she decided she wanted to quit. Come on. No. Was it because she was suicidal? Because what is the reason? Oh, so she was sitting on the thing, and finally said she couldn't do this anymore. And what was it that she couldn't do anymore, Harry? Was it she couldn't be a royal anymore? Or she didn't want to live in the UK anymore? She couldn't do what anymore? Because you don't decide you want to be a royal and then decide you want to quit. Not that quick anyway. She was only married to him for 15 minutes. Like 10. No, she was always coming back here. And she stuck to the plan. And the plan is never going to deteriorate. She's never going to move from that plan, because then it would make it feel like she was lying. And she doesn't want to be cast as a liar or a porcupine. But it's coming. It's knocking at the door because Samantha has exposed it. And I heard, and I'm going to go, I promise, that the judge, look, just because people are high profile or, don't, you can't say that these people can't be accountable for the damage that they've done, Meghan and Harry, and say that it's okay because they're in a certain level of power. You can't do that. You got to hold everybody accountable equally. Because we are all we're people. But for a judge or for anyone to throw any of that out to show that Meghan literally decimated her sister's character for no reason other than putting her in her story and not thinking about the consequences. Because Harry, you can't tell me he ain't running around looking dizzy. I love you guys. Have a great night.